Guys, do you like to work out frequently, or do you participate in a sport? Do you ever wonder what's happening inside of your body that's providing you with this energy to perform at this certain intensity? Well, I'm here to talk about a certain amino acid that helps you provide you with this energy. This amino acid is called alanine. And if you don't already know, an amino acid is a building block for protein, which helps replenish your muscles after you're done with a certain exercise. A source by Campbell talks a little bit about alanine in further detail. Alanine is one of the simplest amino acids in the body that is most frequently used to make proteins. It is a non-essential amino acid that we can intake through high-protein foods such as chicken, fish, nuts, and beans. The amino acid is an important source of energy for the brain, the central nervous system, because it produces antibodies, which helps the metabolism of sugars and organic acids. Alanine is essential for the central nervous system to properly function and helps the neurotransmitters. A function of alanine is to transport nitrogen from the peripheral tissues to the liver, as well as convert glucose into energy for the body. A source from King says, in the skeletal muscle, pyruvate is transaminated to alanine, thus affording an additional route of nitrogen transport from muscle to the liver. In the liver, alanine transaminase transfers the ammonia to 2-oxyglutarate and regenerates pyruvate. This process is referred to as the glucose-alanine cycle. Some benefits that alanine has is it strengthens your immune system because it does produce antibodies to help fight off toxins. Alanine has been used as a source for the production of glucose to stabilize blood sugar levels over lengthy periods. We can find alanine in the prostate fluid, and it might play a role in our prostate health by reducing symptoms and prostatic hyperplasia. Some research has found that people with insulin-dependent diabetes that take alanine orally is almost more beneficial for them than a late-night snack. Now that I've kind of talked to you briefly about what alanine is and its functions, I'm going to talk to you about how it's affecting your body during endurance exercises. Most people think that only energy resources you use are carbohydrates and fats when you run, which is true. But after 2 hours passes and you're still exercising, alanine is oxidized and increases your levels of energy. A source from Thompson and his colleagues says that recent studies have shown that protein catabolism and amino acid oxidation may be increased in strenuous exercises. When the exercise is performed in the presence of low glycogen levels, or if it is prolonged, the extent of protein degradation, which is the breakdown of proteins, becomes greater. Which is why alanine concentrations were lower at the end of the workout, because it has increased urea production, which means an increase in amino acid oxidation. When exercise exceeds 2 hours in duration, a drop of alanine, as well as total concentrations of the free plasma amino acids, occurs during the activity period. Another study performed by Tharp and his colleagues showed the effects of endurance training on plasma amino acid concentrations at rest and after short duration exercises. That talks about alanine, BCAAs, and glutamate concentrations in the plasma increase significantly from pre to post exercise. This is because of the need for amino acid oxidation. Tharp also states, alanine plays a central role as a primary glycogenic substrate and as an ammonia carrier. Therefore, the higher alanine levels observed in endurance trained athletes after exercises may be a physiological relevant role in accommodation to the metabolic demands of exercise. Since endurance activities are using the oxidative system, this shows why alanine is high in the body during these types of exercises, because it helps form lactate and pyruvate. A little bit talking about anaerobic exercises. Dresendorfer and his colleagues performed a study, and they have discovered that during anaerobic exercises, there is an accumulation of alanine, lactate, and pyruvate in the body, which are all involved in the glycolysis cycle. But it's suggested from these findings that amino acid catabolism may provide a source of anaerobic energy production in addition to the glycolysis cycle. So with that being said, You will mainly see alanine in endurance exercises because it is involved in the glycolysis cycle. Some diets you will see high in alanine. Ramsey and his colleagues did a case study over high carb diets and high protein, low fat. The diets that are high in alanine are high in protein and high in carbs. These types of diets are good for people who participate in endurance activities because they need the carbs to restore their glycogen levels to perform for long duration activities. And alanine was taken up but released into the body when there was an increase in supply for amino acids. In the high protein diet, there was an increase in pyruvate precursors, which is alanine, which means an increase in pyruvate transfer into the mitochondria. The gut was the main site for alanine sources in the high carb diet, and the liver utilized most of the alanine that was introduced in the portal vein plasma. Now that we've talked about what alanine is and what its functions are in the body, it's very important to know this just so you know where you're getting your energy from in the body while you do perform anaerobic or aerobic exercises, and can help benefit you in the long run. So next time you hit the gym, give alanine a thought. Thank you.